Hi all, another very interesting game from David Grosvenor. This is Leela ID 510 against Fire 7.1. So this game, the standard David Grosvenor setup, Fire is on a 2.8 GHz full CPU setup, and Leela is on a GTX 1060 graphics card, and the time control is 1 minute per 40 moves, which creates very entertaining games in my view. E4 from Leela. We have a Sicilian defense, knight f3, knight c6, and now bishop b5. So this is very, very popular nowadays with super grandmasters to avoid the main line here and just sometimes aim to just double black's pawns, e6, white castles. But actually this is the book moves given to them. The end of the book is reached here. So they're trying out this position. Knight f6 from Fire is the first move calculated. Bishop takes c6, so not waiting for a6 or anything, just taking on c6 straight away. d3, knight d7, e5. So are we going to witness a classic overprotection of e5? In another game example on this channel, Leela was able to reinforce this, play a4, a5 and switch a rook to the attack via a4. That was a really instructive game, which I urge you to check out. Do we have the same sort of thing happening here? Well, a4, a5. Rook b8. We have actually some differences now. There isn't this cheeky rook move. There's bishop f4 here. b5. A takes. Now knight bd2. Bishop b7. Knight e4. And actually black challenges the a1 rook. And that's taken. Queen takes. b3. h6. Which seems a little bit dangerous as though offering white a target. But let's run with it. Knight fd2, which does mean that the queen is now able to come to h5 potentially. b5. Queen h5. Is the queen neglecting the queen side though? As Kasparov once said, you don't worry about pawns on the queen side when your house is on fire. Is fire playing with fire? Okay, I'm getting rid of all the expressions in one go there. Fire might be playing with fire here with queen a2. Okay, so guess what white plays here in this position? What would you expect the attacking Leela to play? Okay, bishop takes h6 is played. G takes, but the implementation's wonderful here. So what does white want to do in this position? White actually, leisurely, after sacrificing that piece, just plays f4 just to reinforce e5 and make way for rook f3 to g3. And of course with these double pawns, the bishop's not got any say in the matter there. If we look at this position, by the way, just for a moment before we go into that, instead of taking, knight takes e5, there's bishop takes g7 here, threatening mate. And also, of course, the knight's attacks. Here, queen takes e5 check is very, very strong. For example, f6 check, queen here is nasty, threatening the bishop, and also knight d6 check. So, for example, here, knight d6 check, and then winning e7. So this is actually a really dangerous position on knight takes e5. It seems as though, yeah, this is just very, very strong for white. Bishop takes g7. Technically, so yeah, it was taken. So f4. Let's move on now. King h7. If queen takes c2, then queen takes h6. And say this, then the rook lift. This position, it doesn't really matter about these checks. The king can get to a safe location and still renew the idea of rook g3 check. So, for example, here check. Rook g3 threatening, now queen h6 checkmate, or queen h5. Black would have to give up the queen. That's hopeless for black, this position. So we see king h7, f5. The attack rages on here. c4 is played. On e takes f5, then this position, white just picks up the knight and also double attacking the bishops. The knights are holding each other here, so nothing really black can do there. So c4 is played, f6, but now there's a big idea of knight g5 check as well. So black gets really kind of desperate. Check. Now, if this king moves, then maybe bishop e3. So, you know, maybe this is stopping knight g5 here. Otherwise, that's pretty terminal. So actually, that's snapped off. Knight takes. And in fact, Leela renews the knight g5. Fun and games. So knight g5 again. Now, black's just broken here because it's a really broken position. If the rook moves, then f7 is neglected, and I think Leela just crashes through. In the game, knight e4 was played, which just gives up the knight to try and stave off the inevitable. So taking was played. We have queen a7 check, queen e3 to try and stop knight g5. But now h4, and finally that f7 pawn is neglected now because knight g5 is difficult to stop. We have this rook g8. Now f7 is taken, and here another nice attacking move is played. I wonder if you can guess if I give you 5 seconds. It's a cute one. Knight g5 is played, threatening mate. Now if hg, then queen h5 is checkmate. So rook takes is played, so white's now clearly material up. hg, queen takes, and rook d1 threatens rook d8. Check. Queen g5. Check. And yeah, checkmate. This game was played out to the end, it seems. Okay, so crushing game. The rook left wasn't used in this particular game example, but with h6, yeah, it was like very provocative. Leela went for it, just sacking the piece, and then f4, bang. There's no counterplay after that. So a very, very nice attacking game again from Leela. And we're going to start to move on the Leela IDs, by the way. These are just attractive games from earlier IDs, but Leela's evolving every single day, so it's difficult to like keep hold of the latest Leela, of course, but I'm going to try and do that in the next few videos. Hope you enjoyed this one. Comments, questions, likes, shares appreciated. Thanks so much.